literally barely eating. I'm doing a bunch of cardio. Why can I not lose weight? Well, because your body is legit in fight or flight mode and it's not going to lose weight, right? It's not going to burn fat when it's in fight or flight mode. It's literally in protect you mode. And unfortunately, it doesn't care about aesthetics. It cares about keeping you alive. And that's by storing fat. And so what happens when you're under eating, and I talk about it a lot, but your body actually stores the food as fat to protect you. Hello, and welcome to Body Language by Embody You. I'm Annette Lane, and I'm so glad you're here. This show is where we take a step back from the shoulds and the should nots of social media and really learn what your body is saying and how to speak its language. We're going to dive into topics like gut health, birth control, cycle health, and give you real world, honest examples of what these actually might mean to you. My goal is to create a space that you can come back to whenever you need a reset or just don't know how to go forward. New episodes will be released weekly, and I cannot wait to take you along with this journey. Let's get started. Well, welcome back to another episode of Body Language by Embody You. And today's episode is probably my most highly requested and also my most highly talked about conversation with girls is I'm skinny fat, Annette. I feel skinny fat. What is skinny fat? What does it mean? And what should you do to help yourself not feel skinny fat is what we're going to go over today. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it because I know you guys need these answers and you want them right now. So being skinny fat is that feeling of I'm not super overweight, right? I don't have a ton of weight to lose, but I don't feel toned, right? I feel like I have this layer of fat over my body that I can't seem to get rid of. And I don't know what it is in it, but I feel skinny fat. And it's a really frustrating spot to be. And I was there for a long time. And whenever I find myself feeling skinny fat, I have to remind myself these couple of things that I'm going to tell you about to help me shed that inflammation and get back to feeling super toned. So that is what being skinny fat is. And what it really is just your body not being optimized metabolically. And when I say that, I mean your body isn't burning calories effectively as it should be. And the number one cause of that is because you have no muscle on your body, right? If you don't have muscle, you will never look toned. That toned look that you're going for is you having muscle on your body and then getting rid of the fat around the muscle so you can actually see it. So it's visible. So you look toned. A lot of people come in and they're like, I want to tone out in it. I want to tone up, whatever. And they're afraid to build muscle. They don't want to get bulky, quote unquote. I think it's funny because a lot of like bodybuilders or people will laugh like, honey, if you think you're going to get bulky that easily, like I've been training for how long to like gain muscle, it's not that easy. And also that feeling of being bulky is actually just that excess fat that's over your muscles. You do need to build muscle, right? For so many reasons. Obviously, longevity when it comes to being a woman, not having osteoporosis when you're 60 and fracture a hip, but also being metabolically healthy enough for your body to burn fat. So muscle, we say all the time, is very greedy, right? It takes a lot of energy to just exist on your body and it uses up a lot of your caloric intake. So that's why when our girls in our program, especially, they'll put on muscle, their fat loss stage is literally melting off because their muscle is like eating it. It like needs that energy, right? It's greedy. It takes a lot of energy to have muscle on your body. And so when you do, it actually raises your metabolic rate, right? It raises the amount of calories you burn in the day and you start to lose fat. So if you're someone who's afraid of building muscle, I'm here to debunk anything you believe about you becoming bulky that has all to do with body fat and nothing to do with being too muscular. And it's not as easy as you think. It's really not. And the fact, of just lifting 2-pound dumbbells all the time is not going to get you what you're looking for. It's not going to get you that toned look. You're not going to build muscle that way, right? You have to be eating enough. You have to be pushing in the gym, doing progressive overload, right? Breaking down those muscle fibers so that they can repair and grow bigger is actually where you're going to start to develop that tone look. So that's my first part, is to become toned. It comes down to your workouts, right? So if you're someone who's not really lifting, not really working out, maybe you're just doing cardio or you're just doing Pilates or yoga and you're feeling skinny fat, the first thing we need to do is say, okay, let's put muscle on our body, right? We need muscle for all of the reasons I just explained. So that should be our first order of business. Then we'll kind of tap into fat loss. And the biggest thing that I see when it comes to putting muscle on your body is you literally are just not eating enough food to do so. And also not eating enough food is causing your body to store belly fat. So it's like double negative, right? It's like worse and then worse. And so what happens when you're under eating, and I talk about it a lot, but your body actually stores the food as fat to protect you. because we've done it for 500 years, right? Before we ever had access to food all the time, our body stored what we did find, hunt, kill, gather as fat to protect us, to keep us warm, to protect us for whenever the next time we were going to eat was. Our bodies still do that. And so when you're chronically not eating enough, your body is going to keep storing fat. And it's why you feel like you're swimming upstream of like, I'm literally barely eating. I'm doing a bunch of cardio. Why can I not lose weight? Well, because your body is legit in fight or flight mode and it's not going to lose weight, right? It's not going to burn fat when it's in fight or flight mode. It's literally in protect you mode. And unfortunately, it doesn't care about aesthetics. It cares about keeping you alive. And that's by storing fat and storing the food that you do feed it. So number one is going through what we call a reverse diet in our program. And we bring 9 out of 10 girls through a reverse diet when they join us because they truly come in under eating so much. And then we like borderline double a lot of their food intake and they're toning out, they're losing weight on the scale, they're dropping inflammation, they have energy again. And they're finally learning how to eat for their body. And that's the biggest thing that you'll develop through this is learning, oh my gosh, this is actually how much food I should be eating. Not just guessing anymore, not just looking up healthy recipes on TikTok, right? It's not about that. It's about actually eating the right amount of food throughout the day, getting in enough micros and macros to make sure you're actually fueling your body to do all the processes you want it to, because burning fat's not an easy process and it's also not necessary. So when your body doesn't have enough energy, it's not going to do the unnecessary things like burn fat or even give you your period. If you're someone who's missing your period, it's because your body doesn't have energy to do it. It's going to save that energy for things like keeping you alive, keeping you breathing, keeping your organs running, your heart pumping, right? It's going to keep it for necessary functions and the extra fun things that make you actually look and feel good. It's going to be like, sorry, we don't have the energy for that. What you can do for your body is give it that energy. And like I said, in the form of a reverse diet, and how that works is if you think about it, let's say your body's stuck at 1,500 calories a day right now, and you've been eating that, consistently over and over. Maybe you have some high days, some low days, you're all over the place, you're inconsistent with your nutrition. Your body's kind of met you where you're at, right? So your metabolism has slowed to meet you there. That's your normal maintenance now. What we need to do is actually build you up to that maintenance where you're actually going to be fueled, fulfilled, able to put on muscle, able to burn fat, and get your calories up so that your body can start doing those functions again. So we slowly increase food over time in our program, like week to week, depending on how girls are feeling. It's not like we double your food overnight. A scary thing about this is people think they're going to gain fat. And actually, like I said, you're bringing your body out of store fat mode. You're bringing your body out of fight or flight, and you're going to feel so much better overall. And it's actually going to allow you to build muscle, which is going to burn fat. So it's just going to be helpful. And you're not going to gain a bunch of weight like you think you are. So you're going to slowly build up. Let's say now you're at 2,200 calories a day. So that's a 700 calorie difference. Now we're going to keep eating there until your body realizes, oh, this is my new normal. What it's going to do with that extra 700 calories is do the things you want it to. It's going to give you more energy. You're going to burn fat. Your body's going to get its period back, right? Like you're going to be able to do kind of the more elective processes, if you will, the things you actually want your body to do, that it's at the bottom of your body's priority list, but at the top of yours. That's what's actually going to happen when you give it that food back. Then what we do when you want to go into an actual deficit, and what a lot of people don't tell you, is you have to work up to maintenance first. If you are just sitting at 1,500 calories and you're like, I'm going to drop to 1,000 or 1,200, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. You're actively sacrificing your metabolism, and you're actively causing your body to go deeper into fight or flight mode. You can't just figure out what you're eating right now and drop calories. That doesn't work if you're under eating. We got to bring you up to speed. Once we sit there, then we slowly start dropping you into a deficit. Like again, slowly week by week, 100 calories, whatever it looks like. Let's say we get you into a 500 calorie deficit. You're back under, now you're eating more than you were before. So you're actually eating 1,700 calories, which is 200 calories more than when you started with us. And that difference in calories from what your body's used to burning and what you're giving it, your body's going to take that from fat. So all of those extra things that you're doing when you bring your body down again, then it's going to need that. It's going to be used to that. It's going to be like, where are these extra 500 calories that we're not getting by food? I'm going to use stored fat. I need energy, right? As time progresses, it's why you can't stay in a deficit forever, because your body catches up to you. It's going to slow it down. It's going to meet you there. Then we kind of talk about it like coming back up for air. Swimming upstream is like the most frustrating thing ever. And so I know that this probably feels like a lot of information and you've tried everything and maybe you're a little skeptical. But at the end of the day, what could be worse, right? Staying stuck, staying frustrated, still feeling like you're fighting your body, or trying something that actually scientifically makes sense. And it's something that I see with a lot of girls, especially girls that have maybe lost a lot of weight before our program. And they're like, hey, I lost the weight, but I can't tone up for the life of me. That's a really big indicator of like, okay, yeah, you have no muscle on your body. That's why you don't feel toned. Same thing when I see girls on GLP-1s. GLP-1s are not going to give you the abs you're looking for. They're not going to make you feel all toned like you're looking for. They're going to make you look really, really skinny or skinny fat, right? They're going to leave you feeling skinny fat. They're going to leave you not feeling like you have any muscle on your body because number one, they do deplete muscle, especially if you're not weight training and eating, adequate protein, adequate calories on them. But you will either look sickly or you're going to be skinny fat because you're not doing it in a way that's actually promoting the shape of your body that you're looking for. And yes, again, they can be helpful in certain situations for people that need hunger control and, maybe need change now, because if they don't, it will be worse than the effects of the GLP-1. But if you're someone who just has some weight to lose or you're just looking to get toned up, that's not the answer. And so number one, like I mentioned, eating enough, making sure you're getting enough food in, you're retraining your metabolism is huge. And then two, making sure you're actually following workouts that are going to build this muscle. So if you're someone who's, not strength training and you're not focused on building muscle and you're maybe just doing cardio or you're doing, like I said before, Pilates, yoga every day, I want you to think about how can I put muscle on my body? And something that's also really interesting is once we do put on this muscle, then we kind of go into that fat loss phase. So after that, like I said, fat's going to shut off very easily. And also we're going to focus on inflammation, and the two journeys look different, right? Right now I am like on a fat loss part of my journey, built a lot of muscle over the winter, definitely got a lot stronger. And now I'm working on lowering inflammation, lowering fat, feeling really toned for the summer. And this week is a really great example because I have muscle on my body. It's like a luxury that I'm able to take breaks. So I've been feeling super stressed out lately. I feel like, my period's been late. I've been dealing with just like a lot of up and downs with my energy levels and mood and stress right now. And so my big thing was like, okay, Annette, let's actually dial it back on training this week. Let's do the yoga, do the at-home Pilates, right? Get your steps in, focus on stress management. And finally, like my inflammation dropped and I dropped 3 pounds on the scale this week. Not a fat, right? It doesn't happen that fast. We don't want it to happen that fast, but I was literally sitting up like 3-ish pounds. And I could not drop the inflammation. I was not feeling hungry. I was not feeling fasted in the mornings. I was feeling bloated. I controlled that stress. And now I'm finally back down and the inflammation is leaving, which is, again, a privilege. I have worked so hard to put muscle on my body to get to a spot where I'm able to do that, that I get to pay attention to those things. And I get to be like, okay, I'm not going to lose my muscle. I'm not going to lose my progress, right? I've worked my butt off to get there. And I think that's something that we get confused when we say balance. Honestly, to have balance, you have to also experience periods of being harder on yourself, being a little bit more locked in. Because if balance is just doing whatever you want, whenever you want, that's not balance. That's doing whatever you want, whenever you want. Balance would be, hey, most of the time I'm like locked in, if people want to go out and get drinks, maybe I'm going to drive, or maybe, I'm going to bring my dinner to the girls' night that we're having, or, I'm not going to skip my workout and just go lay down at home. I'm going to go do it. But sometimes, I miss a workout, or like we go out to dinner, we go get drinks, or like we have the Taco Bell at 2 a.m., but that's not normal. And I don't just do it whenever I want to. That's balance. And it's funny because I think a lot of us like to call things balance, and it's really just holding ourselves back. So figuring out what that looks like so that you can experience periods of this where you're trying to maintain the muscle you've put on and lower your inflammation. And it's really kind of a fun stage. And it's a lot less, I think, stressful. And, you don't have to be so hard on yourself than, when you're trying to build muscle and be super consistent. You kind of just get to coast and let your body do its thing and kind of protect it and keep it out of fight or flight mode all the time. So that's kind of what you guys should be focusing on if you're feeling skinny fat. Eating enough, working out hard, putting on muscle. If you're not training till failure in the gym, you're not going to build muscle. Your muscles are not going to break down. They don't have a reason to grow. They need that catalyst. They need that stimulus. And making sure that you have the right mindset and the right plan about it. Because if you're just guessing willy-nilly, you feel skinny fat, and I don't blame you. And so that is my biggest tips for you guys when it comes to feeling skinny fat, when it comes to not knowing Why am I not toned? Why do I feel like I'm swimming upstream? Those are the biggest things that I would recommend in the order that I would do them. As always, if you have any questions or you feel like, I wonder how that would work for my body or for, what that would look like in my life, please always reach out to me. Always, if you're interested in talking about the Embody You program, we have an application linked below. Otherwise, you can DM me Embody on Instagram, and we will have a free 15-minute phone consultation to chat more about the program and see if it's a good fit for you. But here's to all my muscle mommies out there. Go out there, build some muscle. Don't be afraid of it. You're not going to get bulky. And from the teacher and me to the teacher and all of you, thank you so much for being here with me today. I will see you next week.